welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. My apologies for the delay. We had, oh man, where am I at? Where's my title at? Nothing's all set up. Yeah, the kitty chose to go into quarantine today. He was over on the chair, and then he jumped down to the floor, and then he jumped back to the chair, and then he's just jumping back to the floor. I'm like, you know what? Never mind. I'm putting the kitty in quarantine for a while. Eventually, he's going to make an appearance on the show. I'm sure of it. So as soon as I start doing this, he'll probably come around, and then, I don't hear pitter-patter yet, but I'm sure it's coming. Anyway, how is everybody doing on day whatever else this happens to be of total lockdown, quarantine garbage? I actually posted a picture on Discord, if you're over there, about the wonderful playgrounds in our town closed down for whatever stupid reason. I'm telling you, people, this is just all to get FEMA money and stuff like that. I think almost every politician needs to be voted out of office when it comes time to an election, if we ever get one again. I don't know. Of course, if you're following the press conferences, they're saying today, well, it appears as though the number of people who are already immune and have had this is much higher than we thought. Duh. I've been telling you that for a long time. But anyway. Let's see. Greetings, Quint Berkeley. How's it going there? Keegan, the Tennessean. How's it going, though? You would zoom on in. All right. Thought you'd zoom on in. All right. Hello, Mr. Anderson. Greetings, Moonbase Alpha Grays. How's the Moonbase doing? Are you guys watching all this craziness going on like we are? Oh, God. What are these? Watch this, man. Watch this. Let's see. He's going to use Zoom. Then I read they're having privacy problems. Oh, they're having more than privacy problems. They're having privacy problems. They're having security problems. Here's the thing. If you use Zoom, you may as well use Facebook. I mean, really. Ashton Snap, thank you for that super chat. And you are an uncle now. Well, congratulations on being an uncle now. Being an uncle, the greatest thing. You're still young enough to enjoy the kids. You get to spoil them all you want and then give them back to mom and dad. Go, ha, 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 ha. Now they're your problem. Now they've had 17 candy bars. It's your problem. Ha, ha, ha. Don't do that. Anyway, nothing zooming into the command center and smelling the aroma of capacitors coming out of your power supply. All right. Greetings, Minifang. How's it going there? Love Manjaro Linux, very good. Manjaro is pretty nice. Mint there. I got Mint right here too. Debian Sid here. All right. Yeah, and I'll be a minute or two late. There we are. Okay. Let's see. I have a 15-year-old laptop coming that's getting Linux Mint Debian Edition. Very cool. How old was the power supply? Pretty old, I guess. Ooh. I'm on the Opera browser. All right. There you go. Is there any good Zoom alternative like Wire? Maybe, I don't know. It's these things are like voting for president, people. Just vote for whichever one's the least bad, I guess. The Space Pirate, greetings there. Is your favorite letter R? All right, let's see. You changed your name, Robot Gamer? Is that you? Okay, I think that's you. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. I have to use Zoom for English class. So most people are right now forced into Zoom. I think I have two things. I already have worked entirely from home, and now I have two things that are going. One of them we've met on Zoom, which I don't have a Zoom account, but as long as I can just enter in an ID, I'm okay with that. And then the other one, I have to decide if I want to continue doing the Christian Writers Roundtable through Zoom, and I am not super excited about that, to be perfectly candid. Especially being the only computer guy there, I imagine I'm going to be the IT guy. And the prospect of that makes me want to go and leave the planet for longer at a time. All right, so let's see. Quint is also using Zoom for school now. Yep. Okay, you may as well be using Google. We'll put it that way. All right. I think it's 3 years old. It is a 750. My spare is 550, only a 4-pin. Getting kids settled down for the night. There you go. Amazon sells adapters. Just ordered one today for that reason. There you go. Okay. Have you used Opera on your side? I guess that's a comment over to Steven. Let's see. Recent review. I'm rocking Linux Mint Debian Edition 4. Very cool. Awesome. Very nice. Georgia has a lockdown policy until April 13th. Oh. I haven't heard when our lockdown policy's over. I don't know. Probably like longer than that. They're just like gonna be like, let's just keep going for as long as we can because we're stupid and we mismanage our money and everything. Our state's stupid. I'm actually thinking about leaving the state again. In fact, I think I've been discussing it with. I only have a couple friends here that make it worthwhile staying in this town, and so I'm thinking, you know what? I'm chatting with them about probably leaving town. Maybe I'll go back west. They seem to be a little bit more sane over there. Has the kitty been hoarding kitty litter? My kitties actually don't use kitty litter. I use horse pellets, which hopefully that store is open because I'm about a half bag. I should go and maybe tomorrow I'm gonna go and see if that store is open. See if I can go and get some of that stuff. Since it is a farm supply store, I'm guessing it's going to be an essential business, but we'll see. I ate a good roast beef and cheddar sandwich. Ooh, nice. Very cool. Very cool. Pitter patter. More like thud, thud, thud. That's Jurassic Park Tyrannosaur. That's right. Yeah, well, one of my kitties does a pitter patter. The other kitty's like, it's like a brontosaurus running, you know. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. God is good. Yes, he is. Okay. Is it Friday? Yes, it is Friday indeed. It is Friday indeed. You must be retired. All right, yeah, there you go. I pinned it. All right, college classes are using Microsoft Teams. Thankfully, it runs on a web browser. There you go. Okay. What do you think about Vivaldi browser? I hate it. It is like a slow monstrosity to me, and I really don't like the UI either. Come to New York. No. Now, New York, California, Massachusetts, and Illinois. Those are the 3 states that I said 3 states, right? Yeah. Those are the states. No. I don't mind visiting, but no, not a chance. Louisiana's lockdown is being extended to April 30th. Apparently, it's one of the hardest hit states. Yeah. In translation, apparently it's one of the states that's mismanaged their money the most and figured out if they lock everything down, they can get government money. Yeah. Come to Georgia. I was thinking about west. Rather than south. Indiana says extending lockdown 2 more weeks today. Oh, lordy. Okay, today's Frog Day. Ribbit. Any creature morph is your cat walking across the keyboard again? Okay. Alright, any creature morph, we're going to stop doing that, man. Okay, what king of legislation has gone through? What kind of legislation has gone through now? I think everything is officially past the stimulus bill. Although AOC was whining and crying that illegal aliens aren't getting any of that, and that pisses her off. So, you know, illegal immigration is a perfectly fine thing. Do that. I'm sorry, right now our country cannot exactly afford to take care of everything else. You know, if you haven't noticed it, we actually have right now a higher unemployment rate than the Great Depression had because of all this nonsense. But as soon as the government says, hey, people can go back to work, it should fix itself. But we'll see what happens. I don't know, you'll have to look at it. Let's see. We'll go ahead and pause our stuff there and get started. I think TOS is on in 45 minutes. Unfortunately, I have 5 whole news sections. We have privacy. We have a specific news section just on Zoom. And I'm going to have to be resetting my banners a lot today, guys. My apologies. I just don't have enough screens for this. Oh, and I forgot to set up another screen, too. Anyway, we're going to be doing a lot of fun bannery screen things. In fact, I need to set up a screen right now. So give me a second here. Let me duplicate you. Call it that. And delete that. Yes. And add an image. Like that, and no, whatever the default, cancel. All right. Did my OBS, okay, so my OBS just did something. It's waiting for some dialogue. There we are. Cancel you. All right. Cancel you, delete you, start up. It's been a crazy day, guys. There we are. Now we're back where we need to be. Okay, there we are. All right. I think we're set. And I need you. Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the Privacy Edition. And I have a new affiliate here. If you are a writer or into anything writing where you need to clarify your grammar, of course everyone knows about Grammarly, but if you haven't seen the privacy policy, they basically say anything and everything you put in our computer is ours. Period. With no extensions, all the royalty, all the blah, 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 that you can't do anything about. Well, there is actually a competing service called Pro Writing Aid, which has a privacy policy that says, what you type is your business. We don't store it. We don't keep it. We don't want it. So I highly recommend using Pro Writing Aid. This is one of the tools that I actually use in writing as well. You can find it at tlm.li/PWA. That is my affiliate for that. And welcome to the Privacy News. News recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to be talking about, what is it we got? I think we have 5 news stories here in Privacy News. Let's jump right on in. Of course, we started talking about Pro Writing Aid because Grammarly now directly integrates with the Microsoft Word's Mac app. So if you use Microsoft Word on the Mac, now Grammarly can tie into that and steal everything you're doing on Mac as well. Because if you have not gone in and looked at the privacy policy for Grammarly, it's one of those ones that makes you go, ugh. It makes Facebook look like it doesn't collect and store a lot of data. Okay, that's Grammarly. But if you are using Mac, then you can actually now integrate this directly into the application. So beware of that you're going to see an upticking in ads targeting Mac users for Grammarly, and it's a bad deal. Use Pro Writing Aid instead. I have a link to that in the description. All right. So, of course, the next one is over 4,000 more, oh God, Android apps. Remember how, like, what is it, 2 weeks ago, I think we covered the Google's Advanced Protection program or something, the APP program. You can only get apps installed in the Google Play Store for your ultimate security. Dude, the ones from F-Droid are infinitely better and actually audited for security. But no, 4,000 more apps are silently accessing all your installed software. This deals with a Google, or an Android rather, API, that when you use this API, it automatically can harvest without any permissions at all, no permissions able to even do anything about it. It can harvest all of your information, like the number of apps that you have, and send it back to the company. So greater than 4,000 Android apps are actually doing this. So these are all Google Play Store apps, of course. They do this silently. There's no permissions. There's no way of knowing. It's just something that security researchers have actually found. It's based on an Android API, as we said. And looking at the number of apps, of course, many games are doing this. There's comic apps, personalization, auto and vehicle, down. What's the lowest? No category. There's a couple of these are actually open source, which is interesting. So these could also be doing the same thing. So that would be a neat thing to check if I'm reading this chart correctly. This actually came from a full journal article. I did not get a chance to read the article, so I read these summaries. So it's top 20 library packages using IAM. So you can see what these guys are. If you actually want to read the whole article itself, I believe it is linked in here somewhere. It's this one right here. So all of my links here are on the website at switchedtolinux.com. You can go ahead and have a look at the description of this video for a link out. Just double check on which apps you're using. Make sure that you do not have any of these apps. All right, now another program launches another kids application. Spotify Kids app launches in the US. If you take what they say on the surface, this actually does appear as though it is being pretty good for security and privacy. The downside is it does require you to have a full family account, and you create the login for the child's app through your family app. So you have to have the paid family program first in order to use this. But they say they have no ads of any kind. All content is human curated. It does say it's COPPA compliant. So the question is, are they harvesting any data at all for any reason or not? Presumably they are, because it will basically do the same thing that Spotify does, fine-tune your views. It's just the difference is that everything that is available to choose from has been actually audited and listened to by a human. So in theory, it's a good way to go. But for me, I like steering kids away from apps as much as conceivably possible, to be perfectly candid. All right. So this is what Spotify says. Introduce your child to a playground of sound with all new Spotify apps, as long as that playground's not closed by current things in the news. But exclusively available with your Spotify Premium family subscription. Spotify Kids, your child can explore audio with you or on their own. Enjoy kid-friendly audio handpicked for them. I'm wondering if we're going to have any of those crazy, weird propaganda types that are trying to feed maybe LGBT stuff into your children's stories. You know, stuff that you might find on queer kids stuff. I wonder if that's going to be hand curated and fed into this application, or if it's all going to be completely secular neutral. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little leery. I'd like to know a little bit more about these employees hand-picking the applications or the songs personally. Soundtrack their day, so basically they can choose kind of what they want. Designed for the next generation of listeners. See, there's the rub. We got to get them addicted to Spotify young, so we have them. All right, Spotify Kids is an easy and fun way for your child to explore the world of sound on their own or with their family. You're in charge. It's easy for you to decide what your child hears. You can switch anytime between tracks and playlists chosen for younger or older kids, and audio for them. Peace of mind for you. All content in the app is handpicked by our editors to be family friendly and fun for kids to explore. So that's, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Is this an okay thing? It seems like a good compromise, or is this a concern? Let me know what you think about that one. All right, Saudi Arabia apparently has been tracking phones by using an industry-wide carrier weaknesses. So this was, I believe this is actually going along before the things that shall not be named, he who shall not be named, illness. And so basically, it says The Guardian says, I was looking through The Guardian for an article. I'm assuming this is The Guardian article. I couldn't find a link to it there, couldn't find it in The Guardian, so I don't know if The Guardian means something else. But anyway, this is a weakness in signaling system 7. Basically, this is like Stingray. So the government in this case has been doing what our government's been doing for a long time. They were just kind of caught in it. Ours, you know, in theory, they say we can't do it, but whatever it happens to be. But anyway, there's an unknown whistleblower said they knew of no legitimate reason for requests to that volume. There is no explanation, no other technical reason to do this. The Guardian quoted the sources saying Saudi Arabia is weaponizing the mobile technologies. Well, who's not weaponizing the mobile technologies? Do you just wait till we get to our dystopia news for the week? You'll see some fun stuff, yo. You'll see some fun stuff. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and have a look at our last article in the topic. So Microsoft to end investments in facial recognition firms after any vision controversy. Now, this is not, they're not going to stop facial ID. They're just stopping working with third-party facial ID. So AnyVision was accused of helping the Israeli government surveil the West Bank. So that's exciting. Microsoft says it will no longer invest in third-party facial recognition companies following a controversy around its funding of an Israel startup, AnyVision, which critics and human rights activists say powered a surveillance program in the West Bank, following an NBC News report about the company's relationship with the Israeli government. Microsoft now says an independent investigation led by former U.S. Attorney Eric Holder and his international firm Covington and Burley found that AnyVision's technology has not previously and does not currently power a mass surveillance program in the West Bank that has been alleged by media reports. So he says they haven't been doing it. Media reports say it has been doing it. Had it done so, Microsoft says it would have constituted a breach of financial pledge or ethics. Regardless, so in other words, they're saying that there's not enough evidence to say completely that they have done this, but there's some evidence here that it's potentially possible. So as an abundance of caution, Microsoft says that it's just not going to risk that. And so, for whatever reason, that would happen to be. So, by making a global change to its investment policies to end minority investments in companies that sell facial recognition technology, Microsoft focuses a shift on commercial relationships that afford Microsoft greater oversight and control. So, in other words, they're still going to be using it. They're just going to be doing more control. So, take that for what that's worth. So, those are our privacy news. Honestly, like, not a lot of serious, crazy, bad privacy news in the this week. A lot of it's because everyone's all freaking out about, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die. Which, no, we're not all gonna die. But anyway, that's our news stories for the day. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Have a look at the other videos we have in our catalog. And don't forget, hey Alexa, order unicorn meat, confirm. All right, I realized I've not placed my microphone well, so give me a second. Let me place one. I'm like so far behind on everything today. There we are. That's better. My apologies if you suddenly have to turn down your volume, but especially if I start screaming in the next news section. But anyway, I wanted to go ahead and get that fixed up there. All right, let's see. We got that. Let's put that there. All right, let me go ahead and duplicate this. I'm just gonna use this opportunity, since we're already kind of messed up as it is, to just go ahead and fix as many of these screen images that I have. Fix all the issues we can. And actually, I need to go back and change titles around a little bit because, man, this is crazy. Let's see. No. What are you? You are this banner. There we are. That's all set. All right, let's see. Zoom open source or not? No, decidedly no. We use Zoom app for our distance social gatherings. Shutting down the economy is a critical problem. Yeah, shutting down the economy is going to kill more people than this the Voldemort virus. 2 months ago now, there were people getting high temperatures, almost high enough that the ER would last for 3 days. I wonder if that's actually it. Yeah, probably. Probably was. In fact, that went around a lot of places. My mother works in a hospital. She said that went around, it might have been January. She said already went around. It was really no big deal. You know, they controlled everything. Honestly, that is very possible what it was. Fever of 106. Were they one of the Dark Seekers from I Am Legend? That was the Dark Seeker's core temperature. Okay, really want to spy on everyone as much as possible. Yep. Yes, that is definitely a good Grammarly alternative. Language Tool is an open source alternative as well. It doesn't work quite as well, but it is actually worth a shot as well. Language Tool is open source. And there's actually a Language Tool plugin for LibreOffice. I actually have a video about how to set it up. I think it's on Switch to Linux channel. If it's not on Switch to Linux channel, it's on my Writing Done Right channel. I forget where it is. Okay, it's supposed to be a good thing. Haven't used Word in like 3 years. Okay. I think my computer has Corona. Uh-oh. Ironically, I switched from Word a good bit before I was even thinking about switching to Linux. I actually switched because Word was having issues with the license on my Windows 7 laptop. That's interesting. Okay. Hate Spotify app. Last I used it, you had to have premium to listen to a song on demand, even if it's a local song. I feature pretty much any other music player give you for free. Yeah. Good luck with facial recognition in a world of surgical masks. Well, China's got it figured out, actually. Hair's getting a bit unruly there. Do you have a Flowbee? I don't. I don't have a Flowbee. Oh, yeah. My hair is so unruly. It's crazy. I was thinking about getting a haircut like 2 weeks ago before they closed everything down, too. Man. Business ethics? What are those? Yeah. No problem with language tool. Yep. Yeah, language tool's not bad. All right, I think for our next video, I think what I need to do is, okay, let's go ahead and, I think this is the banner I need. I need to move some, need to move some titles around here. Title X, all right. Oh boy, this is crazy. It's crazy today. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, close you. Now I need to come up to you. Change my title to this one. All right. I think we are about ready. Understand MIT is making open source ventilators cheap. Fade cut last day before they close. All right. All right. Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is a special edition because Zoom has been so blowing up in popularity lately that all sorts of researchers start looking at it and they're all going, Facebook is better. Holy crap, Facebook is better. And so we're going to talk specifically about Zoom. Before we do, if you are looking for an alternative to your current phone carrier, definitely consider looking at Mint Mobile. I actually get my service for $15 a month, and that is 3 gigabytes of data, unlimited talk and text. What I like most about Mint Mobile, and the one thing I look for in any prepaid plan, is they do not limit your hotspot. So there's no weird limitations on your hotspot. It does everything I need it to do. And the more of it you buy at a time, the cheaper it becomes. You can get 3 gig, I think 3 gig, 8 gig, and 12 gig, except I think this month, you can get unlimited because of all the craziness going on. So have a look at my affiliate there, tlm.li/mm. And with that, let's go ahead and jump on over into the news, looking at how security researchers wreck Zoom. All right, so first and foremost, from The Intercept, Zoom meetings are not end-to-end encrypted. Encrypted, yeah, they are encrypted, all right. They're not end-to-end encrypted despite misleading marketing. All right, so they were basically saying that, and the Zoom is all end-to-end encrypted and all this, that actually is only true in a couple of just a few small circumstances, but for the most part, you should assume that your Zoom meetings are not end-to-end encrypted, which means if somebody doesn't Zoom bomb you and just set up their camera to record everything you're doing, third parties could get in there and interfere or maybe change your video feed with something crazy goofy. They could see anything that you're texting back and forth through the messenger. They could intercept any files that are going and push files as well. These are serious problems with having a system like this. Now, they originally were saying, hey, they were end-to-end, and after some security researchers looked into this, they basically said, no, not really. So in Zoom's paper, there is a list of pre-meeting security capabilities that are available to the meeting host that starts with enable an end-to-end encrypted meeting. Later in the white paper, it lists secure a meeting with end-to-end encryption as an in-meeting security capability that's available to meeting hosts. When a host starts a meeting with the require encryption endpoints, settings enabled participants see a green padlock that says Zoom is using end-to-end encryption when they mouse over it. But when reached for comment about whether the video meetings actually were end-to-end encrypted, Zoom spokesperson lied and said, no, currently it is not possible to enable end-to-end encryption for Zoom video meetings. Zoom video meetings uses a combination of TCP and UDP. TCP connections are made using TLS, and UDP connections are encrypted with AES using a key negotiated over TLS connection. So encryption that Zoom uses to protect the meeting is TLS, the same technology that web servers use for HTTPS. This means that the connection between Zoom app running on a user's computer or phone and the Zoom server is encrypted the same way the connection to your web browser in the article is. This is known as transport encryption, which is different from end-to-end because the Zoom service itself can access the unencrypted video. So the service itself can see what's going on. It is not end-to-end. Okay, that is the difference. The difference is one of them only secures a part of the bridge. The other one is the whole thing. Okay, and the whole thing is what makes end-to-end. So Zoom misunderstood what end-to-end happens to be. Oh boy. And let's see, from Vice, Zoom is leaking people's email addresses and photos to strangers. This is why I do not have a Zoom account and I will not be getting a Zoom account. I don't mind if you want to give me a code and I'll go on with whatever thing if I have to, but I am not creating a Zoom account, nor have I created a Zoom account, nor am I going to create a Zoom account. For at least a few thousand people, Zoom has treated their personal email addresses as if they all belong to the same company, letting them video call each other. So you'd sign up for an account, and they basically sign that in as as a quote part of the company. And anytime you have part of a company, it's like the Google services for a company. They can all see and interact with each other because it basically behaves like a little LAN. Well, all sorts of strangers' email addresses were all on a LAN with each other, and they could see each other, leak each other, share photos, and whatever else was going on. And so the company issue lies in Zoom's company directory setting, which automatically adds other people to a user's list of contacts if they signed up with an email address that shares the same domain. So basically, if you had a series of domains, now if you're doing this, for example, and I have my publishing company has a certain URL for the domain. Anybody that I would have with a URL in that had a Zoom account would be put into the same company. Well, that could be convenient if I were doing a company-based create. But what happens when you have a @gmail.com, @outlook.com, and you name it? Well, they all get put into the same company directory. Oh, whoops! So, and of course, with everybody using these stupid Google addresses and things like this, instead of having their own domains, this end up being a big security nightmare. I was shocked by this. I've subscribed with an alias. Fortunately, I saw 995 people unknown to me with their names, images, and mail addresses. Said this individual, a Zoom user impacted by the issue who flagged it to Motherboard, wrote an email. She provided a redacted screenshot of him logged into Zoom with the nearly 1,000 different accounts listed in company directory section. He said these were all people I don't know, of course, and said that his partner had the same issues with another email provider and had over 300 people in their contact list. So I'm not sure if these were all at Gmail or at whatever, but yeah. On its website, Zoom says, by default, your Zoom contacts directory contains internal users within the same organizations. Whoops! A lot of people use Gmail accounts? They're all the same company. Why not, So, let's see. Who either on the same account or use email addresses uses the same domain as yours, except for public. Now, they do specifically say public domains were not affected. Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail. Apparently, it actually, something slipped, and that actually happened a little bit. But a lot of it happens to be a lot of your other email service providers as well, as we dive into that. Pardon the proctology lesson, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Vice, what kind of ads are you running? Anyway, this is why I run ad blockers, except on this computer. Right. Let's see. I guess that's enough to cover on that. That's bad enough. That's kind of crazy enough. All right. You guys using Zoom on Windows computers. Awesome. Attackers use Zoom to steal Windows users' credentials with no warning. So, escalatable. So, Zoom for Windows converts network locations into clickable links. What could go wrong? So, you get in there and basically you can click in and get in some vulnerabilities. So they said the bug appeared in a separate pair of bugs disclosed by researcher Patrick Wardle, who had been fixed. The video conferencing company also said it was enacting a feature freeze for the next 90 days so it could focus on securing the features that are already in place. Wednesday's post also said that UNC vulnerability described in the post and a separate pair of vulnerabilities found Zoom for Mac OS. We're going to get to the Mac OS one in a minute. Don't be like, I got Mac, I'm good. No, you're not. Because Zoom actually, Zoom for Mac also allowed a full root escalation, including access to your web camera, mic, you know, all sorts of fun stuff. What could possibly go wrong? So anyway, whether you're on Windows or whether you're on Mac, us guys on Linux with Flatpaks, we're okay. We're okay. Flatpak isolates around from the system. Linux is like, no, bro. No, bro. No, bro. So, you know, that's what I'm using. When I have to use Zoom, I'm using it on my Arch computer. I'm isolated with the Flatpak, and I don't have a Zoom account. So, still don't trust it, but you know what? In the scope of all of the craziness going on. Now, there's some other things that we didn't do. I love this article from The Verge because it basically summarizes. It's like a grab bag of zoominess. So let's have a look at the grab bag of zoominess, shall we? So over here, basically, it's just kind of going into all the different issues. Zoom is taken off because of the Voldemort virus. And so let's see, the first problem was the Zoom bombings, because you basically, unless the meeting is specifically set up to only allow certain people in, then the meeting keys can easily be guessed. I mean, you could sit there if you have a spare few minutes, grab yourself some dice from the old Dungeons and Dragons and, you know, roll some dice and just enter the keys in as you roll them in the dice. And then just, you know, click, 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 hit enter and see if you find yourself in a meeting. Now, don't do it naked. That's what one guy did. Caused one school to tell everybody turn off your video cameras and stuff like this because some naked dude was Zoom bombing school classes. Oh, Lordy, that's all we need. Mommy, I saw a guy come. Never mind. Anyway, so yeah, the Zoom bombings were coming in, so they could kind of jump in and look into all this kind of stuff. People just kind of jump right on. And second problem is it began to generate directories of every email address that signed into a call, and then let strangers start placing calls to one another. Oh boy. So that's the company directory setting. We already talked about that. Next, it ran around telling the whole platform is end-to-end encrypted. Yeah, that ended up not being quite so. Let's see. We had evades macOS administrator controls, installs itself without you having to ask your boss for permission. So it would get around that. It could steal the Windows credentials as well. More of a Windows problem than a Zoom problem, but, you know, a security researcher Wednesday found 2 additional ways to exploit them. At this point, you may be wondering what Zoom has to say about all this. So the protocol, is it... That's what they say. Anyway, the product wasn't designed for consumers, says CMO. Oh, God, it's Pelosi. No, we can't get away from them. All right. But a whole lot of consumers are using it. Forces Zoom to evaluate a lot about the platform. Well, let's see here. We have an app. Oh, it's not designed for consumers. All of these are things that would seriously compromise a network. Yeah, Zoom's kind of crazy, people. So anyway, it's not a consumer app. Keep that in mind. So next time somebody says we got to use Zoom for this, say, no, it's not a consumer app. We're not a business. It's not a consumer app. Sorry, can't do that. Find another solution. Maybe a FOSS one. So anyway, what are they doing? They're just doing their feature freeze for, now it says here 30 days. The other article says 90 days. This is Verge, so I'll believe 90 days instead of 30. But anyway, what do you guys think? Are you excited about all this great new Zoom use you guys are all doing? Or let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, where are we on? We're on a business next. How about business? Wait, what? How'd that one get messed up? Dude, that's not the right title. What are you doing? Oh, the title didn't get transferred right. I am going to be so extraordinarily happy when all of this nonsense is over and I can go back to business as usual. Because holy crap. I got to rebuild a banner. For some reason, I overwrote a wrong banner. Alrighty. I thought this one would be good. I thought it'd be like, oh yeah, this one here is good. We don't have to change any banners around between shows because this one's going to be good. But apparently not. All right. Check in on comments. Software developed, I get more done at home than I do at work in less time. Working at home is turning not that bad. That's good. Yeah, not everyone can work from home, but absolutely. When you can work from home, if you can work from home, it is absolutely good. All right. See you later, Farron. Hi and bye, I guess. Regards to privacy and security, it's a personal choice. I'm representing you with what companies are doing. Yeah, your choice. Yeah. Zoom has a lock icon in the top left corner, so I always assumed it was encrypted. Nope. Oh, yeah, icons are cheap. It's like BBB logos. If you ever see a website that has a Better Business Bureau logo, just an FYI, Better Business Bureau doesn't have a means to put a logo on a site. People just go online, Google, download the logo, and paste it on. I've seen it many times. Okay. Comes the Sandman again. He's calling my name. Okay. It's the medication. Yep. Okay. Well, if that was the Voldemort virus, the guy was sitting right next to me and he infected no one around him. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Need to get some work done. Want to finish the video I was doing. All right. Very cool. Leonard hates Zoom. There you go. Flatpaks run virtualized. They run containerized. That's why, like I run the Discord through a Flatpak instead of installing it, because if you run it through a Flatpak, it can't see all the things that you're doing on the system. But if you just outright install it, it can. So if you're running Discord, run it as a Flatpak or an app image, or if there's a snap. I mean, I think that containerizes as well. See, there's advantages to these things. All right, I just don't want them for everything. You do allow class action lawsuits against these companies. Yes, lawyers will get rich, but at least there will be some things we can do. Yeah, how about if they lose a case, they get seriously penalized. Not a, don't do that again. Meeting key 1 2 3. Yep. Gotten Zoom calls from random people. Oh boy. Yep. Rocco from Big Daddy will not be too pleased. Yeah, well. Never used Zoom, and since the news came too late, I don't think I want to try it. Yeah. Did you miss the fire? Hey, how's it going there, Sleepy? Haven't seen you in a while, man. Hope you're all doing all right. Well, we just finished the Zoom part of the news. Oh, now you're coming back out of quarantine, huh? Little kitty. Well, we're starting another section, so you go lay in your chair for a little bit, and I'll feed you later. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our next news section. No, I still have to change images around. Where are you at? There you are. Kitty, you're cute. Stop doing that. I want to pet you. You're distracting me. The kitty's distracting me from my job. Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the business edition, and today we're going to talk about Cloudflare's new VPN that's free. Who's the product again? Anyway, before I jump on into there, if you are a person that is in need of a VPN and you don't want to use a free one because, you know what they say, if you're free, you're the product, you can consider using private internet access. It is one of 3 VPNs I have on my affiliates page. The other ones being ExpressVPN and NordVPN. You can check those out at switchedtolinux.com/affiliates. But for this one, tlm.li/PIA, you can connect up to 10 devices simultaneously. For $40, you can get a whole year of service, and this one actually will block out a lot of your ad networks, ad trackers, things like that as well. So that is an excellent reason for the cases where you have a use case where you do need a VPN. So let's have a look at our business news. Microsoft aims to win back consumers with a new Microsoft 365. So they dropped Office 365. It's now Microsoft 365, which right now is about the same, except they're going to be adding stuff in the future. So yeah, that's all we need. Yeah, we're just going to change the name to it from Office 365 to Microsoft 365 and basically push everybody over to here so that we can get your money. Money. People, this current pandemic is a very good reason why I like to use free software, because when money gets tight, and it will be when half the country's laid off, okay, when money gets tight, you don't got money for subscription services. Use free and open source software. But anyway, the Microsoft 365, and we talked about this before when they were first kicking this can around. So they are unveiling its new personal and family subscriptions today, which are designed to replace and enhance existing Office 365 consumer plans. Much like the Office 365 personal and home subscriptions exist today, it will be available on April 21st, priced at $7 per month for personal and $10 a month for a family of up to 6 people. Both options will include access to Office, and new features will gradually roll out in the months ahead. Microsoft 365 plans to add 2 new features that will roll out in preview in the coming months. A new family safety app, that's all we need, Microsoft getting in between of all of our family business, and new features for Microsoft Teams for consumers. So if you're a Microsoft Teams user, that could be good news for you. You'll get this, but people, I am not paying a monthly fee for any Microsoft products, or any Adobe products, or any other products for that matter. All right, outside of something like a cell phone or whatever, which, fun, I'm only paying every 3 months. I pay once. I'm only paying 4 times a year at most. If I have a lot of extra money set aside in the bank account right now and that bill comes due, I might just pay a whole year in advance. But at the same time, this is software that you can generally do all this stuff without having to pay a subscription fee. So anyway, they add 2 new features. Okay, we already did that. They also will have an app similar to the Apple's Find My app. So family safety can generate notifications when a family member leaves home, work, or school, and enables location sharing. What if they're intelligent and they don't carry their phone around ever like a sheep? All right, we're going to see how dangerous that's going to be when we get to the dystopian section of the news. All right, so while Skype is Microsoft's primary communications app, it's clear the company's now focusing more on Teams. That's because they rammed Skype into the ground. Now we got our new service. So anyway, let me know if you are a subscriber to Microsoft 365. Is it worth the monthly payout plan? All right, Microsoft Edge browser will add vertical tabs and tracking prevention. So this is like, I think, was it Verge? I think it's like, you didn't know it, but everybody needs Edge now. Why vertical tabs? Really, bro? You're telling me vertical tabs is the reason I should switch to Edge? What is the Verge on? I mean, really. Of course, Engadget starts as, Microsoft finally did the deed and killed Internet Explorer. No, they didn't, you morons in Engadget. If you look around your Windows computer, it still has Internet Explorer. FYI, Engadget, and Verge and Ars Technica and all you other morons who don't know much about computer technology, this replaces the old Edge, not Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is going to be an archive on the system for a long time because many government applications still use it, because modern web browsers can't use a thing called ActiveX, which Internet Explorer has. So Engadget starts their article, Microsoft did the deed and killed Internet Explorer. No, they didn't, you morons. They replaced the old engine of Edge with the new Chromium-based engine of Edge. Internet Explorer is still there. Okay, because too many government projects still require it. But yes, this is the new Edge browser based on Chromium, not the old engine that they had, and I can't remember the name of it, or I would have said it. But anyway, all this is they're adding tracking protection, except tracking from Microsoft, of course, and vertical tabs. So, is vertical tabs worth using? Actually, to me, it looks horrendous. I'd rather have the tabs across the top because it doesn't take away screen size for the screen, personally. I do, though, predict that this is going to cause a nightmare for web developers doing responsive web design. I know, I am a web developer, westernmtnweb.com if you need a website. This is going to cause a nightmare because you get this tab thing out, it's going to throw your responsive design somewhere in between a full screen and a medium. It's going to be a mess. But anyway, we'll see what's going on. So anyway, that's Engadget and their failure to understand technology. All right, Frontier prepares for bankruptcy, and all across the country, people are doing the wave. Yay! Yay! We won't have internet, but yay! So they said they lost its customers due to insignificant underinvestment in fiber. No, you lost your customers because you're a bunch of idiots. I mean, really. Really. Maybe not the frontline guys. It's kind of a side story. I stopped by various parks. I go into the park. It was like last week. I pull into the park, and there's like 4 Comcast vans all sitting there in this park in the middle of the woods. I'm like, Comcast convention. They're like, yep. All right, guys. All right. So anyway, they're filing for bankruptcy. Let's see. Is it 11 or 13? I didn't catch that. Okay. They're not telling me. What type of reporting is this? Okay, there's a critical difference. Is this an 11 or a 13? Because in one of them, you get to keep your business and you just restructure a payment plan. The other one, you'll lose everything. They're not telling me. Anyway, okay, so they discussed the risk of likely bankruptcy and another SEC filing warning investors that seeking bankruptcy court protection should have a maternal adverse effect on our business. Okay, so that's a restructuring. I can't remember which one is restructuring off the top. But Frontier said another risk is our ability to obtain sufficient financing to allow us to emerge from bankruptcy and execute our business plan post-emergence. All right, so skipping an April 1st debt payment in anticipation of its bankruptcy filing, Frontier was originally expected to file for bankruptcy by mid-March. So basically, they're like, hey, we just didn't get the fiber out. Well, why didn't you? You actually got paid by the government to push the fiber out. I don't know. All right, and in the last one, so this is Warp. This is the beta program for Warp for macOS and Windows. A Linux client is coming in the future. This is a Cloudflare-based VPN. Now, you can get this, it's being rolled out first if you are a Cloudflare customer. So if you're actually paying Cloudflare to use its various services, then you are first on the waiting list to try it out. But outside that, when it's fully rolled out, it is a free VPN. So it goes right on back to a big concern that I've always had with Cloudflare. Firefox is by default pushing everything through Cloudflare. A lot of different groups are trying to push everything through Cloudflare. Now they want to have all this, and they don't sell an actual product. How is Cloudflare making all of their money? When you start having free VPNs, name me a good free VPN out there that has not done a lot of things. Right now, Proton looks like a decent choice. I did the review of, was it Kodashi Linux the other day? And somebody had indicated that the free VPN through Kodashi actually uses your computer to mine Bitcoin. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the type of thing we get with free VPNs. They're either harvesting a lot of data or they're doing something else. Here is Cloudflare, once again, driving most traffic through its services, now wanting to run its VPN through its services, not charging anything for it. This is why I have concerns. Now, do I have solid evidence that something is going on? I don't. But I have serious concerns when we have this. So needless to say, even if it is a good free VPN, I will probably not be using it myself outside of maybe a couple weird, odd, niche cases where I might need to throw on a VPN. But why bother? I have private internet access on site for that. So with that, though, so Warp started as an option within the 1.1.1.1 app. It's really a technology that can benefit from any device connected to the internet. In fact, one of the most common requests over the last year of support for Warp was Mac OS and Windows. Today they're announcing exactly that, the start of Warp beta for Mac OS and Windows. They are working on a Linux client, they said, as well. So they said down here about 10% of Cloudflare employees run Linux on their desktops. So they are working on that soon, but of course Windows and Mac are the higher priorities. So, I don't know, what do you guys think? Are you as concerned about this as I am, or is this okay? Let me know your thoughts on all that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. That definitely helps out. Go ahead and hit that like button for the algorithms, and leave us a comment if you would, please. Also, have a look at the VPN affiliates that I have on switchedtolinux.com/affiliates. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Alrighty, all right, guys. We have 2 news sections left. We have our crazy Voldemort virus news, and then we have our Voldemort virus dystopia news. 2 separate news sections. All right, so let's see. Okay, family movie night about to begin. All right, later, Keegan. Let's see. 7 people watching, 29. Smash that thing. That's right. Roll over and die. I lose, and all the hard work is in vain. There you go. That's right. Hey, that's what Solomon said in Ecclesiastes, right? Mint newbie for 4 months now. Very cool. Very cool. Such has been zooming through articles. I'm zooming on through, man. Teachers decided to use Zoom. I told them that it's a security nightmare and I wouldn't be joining them. I was talking cost fallacy because I'm making adjustments and willing to give up on things. Not sure how they will ever be able to end this nonsense without all the lies and incompetence behind it being exposed. Curious how Planto this gets. All right. There's 5 more open now. Limber enough to adjust. Been busy down here. Yep. All right. Okay, don't think we're going back to business as usual. Well, we'll see what happens. Wife just asked me if I knew how to work MS Teams. Apparently, that's what they might start using for her work. Oh, God. So the new Edge will prevent anyone except Microsoft from tracking you. Maybe, yep. So use ActiveX for Legacy app, and it's been the bane of my existence. Yep. wait until you have a client that's like, the site's not looking well in Internet Explorer. That's because nothing works on Internet Explorer, all right? Unless you're using old web technology. They didn't get the fiber optic because they didn't know how to properly run fiber optic without breaking it. Yeah. Hated ActiveX. If you rebuilt your PC, wanted to select security patch, you had to use an Internet Explorer. Yep. Okay, Cloudflare is making money by selling more features to their customers that they want to make more of their DNS services. Also, VPN has a paid tier. Please consider your opinions on Cloudflare. I will not reconsider my opinions at this point in time. I have looked into them a lot, and I have some serious concerns. As long as their CEO can roll out of bed and say, I just didn't want them on my network, so I kicked them off. No. I have serious concerns with Cloudflare. They also don't play nicely with Tor. Service actually admitted I would pay for the service a certain amount of time that my computer would mine. Okay, yeah, as long as they're up front. Proton isn't completely free. They do have a paid tier, yep. Controversies about Cloudflare decrypting SSL traffic to relay traffic to make their things actually unusable. They also make it pretty open about how they work. My concern, again, is that everything's filtering through a single company. I'm sorry, my opinion is not based on nonsense. My opinion is actually based on real information. Real information. Anytime a single company gets a hold of anything, it goes down the tubes. Hands down. Okay. All right. Let's get into the Voldemort virus news, shall we? Do I not have... Oh, God. Do I not have one? All right, never mind. I'm just going to go ahead and borrow this one, too. Do I have a banner for this? Okay. I do not have a banner for it. Do I not have a banner for it? Why do I not have a banner for this affiliate? Interesting. I have an affiliate. I don't have a banner built for it. I'm not going to build a banner for it. All right, let's just jump on over. Oh, what I do have to change a title though, don't I? Okay. All right, and let's go. All right, there we are. Now we're good. Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the Voldemort Virus Edition. That will be my name for it today because, hey, we got to keep things interesting around here. All right, before we jump on into the news article about the Internet Archive stealing from authors amidst the Voldemort virus breakdown, if you are in need of web hosting, definitely look at A2 Hosting. I have an affiliate link. It is in the description down below. tlm.li/A2H. I'm hosting all my websites over there on a VPS. We can get some really good services over there starting at $4 a month. Now, the longer, like Mint Mobile, the longer you pay out in advance, the cheaper the service becomes. So you have a lot of different options. They do have free SSLs and a lot of other good perks and features. So jumping on into the news, the bogus Voldemort virus claims lead Google Play to finally give InfoWars the boot. So it took them long enough. They were just looking like, we got to find a way to get this Fruit Loop off of our service. And so apparently Alex Jones was actually indicating that his products would actually seriously treat things. He was also calling question into the need for social distancing, sheltering in place, and quarantine. You know what? I'm 50-50 on those things myself, so, you know. But basically all these types of things, he was going against the corporate narrative, and so Google's finally like, get out of here, Alex Jones. So hopefully, if you still like listening to this raving lunatic, and I think he's funny to listen to sometimes, I think he's crazy, but hopefully if you do still want to listen to him, hopefully you can download an APK file and sideload it. I don't know. But anyway, Alex is definitely officially off of the Google Play Store at this point in time. For all of his fun antics and whatever else. So, interesting. Definitely interesting. We're seeing more censorship coming up thanks to Voldemort. I think he has definitely taken over the Ministry of Magic. Or is it the Ministry of Medicine? The Ministry of Medicine. All right. So, instead of hazard pay, Spectrum offers a $25 gift certificate. And this is literally to restaurants for going into people's homes among the Voldemort virus epidemic. And so, yeah, Spectrum's like, we got to go into someone's houses. Dude, they're coughing like a crazy person. We'll give you a $25 gift card to your favorite restaurant. Just go in there and fix it. So this is from BuzzFeed. Spectrum technicians connecting cable and internet for customers during the Voldemort virus outbreak will receive a $25 gift card for a local restaurant as a, quote, token of our appreciation, end quote, for management after staff called for hazard pay and protective equipment. Quote, the gift cards never expire, so you can choose a restaurant that's currently not open. This card will remain valid for future uses. Well, what if the politicians string this thing on for the next 6 months and every restaurant except your corporations go out of business? Hey, if you like McDonald's, you're in good shape, but your local shop is probably out of luck. But anyway, it read, let's see, please take some time out of your busy day and enjoy a meal and recharge. Not in the middle of this. Not in the middle of this. Spectrum employees have been speaking out against the company's response to the Voldemort virus pandemic for several days now, begging to be allowed to work from home if their jobs allow it, calling for safety measures to be implemented for those in the field. Technicians on Monday night said they feared going into people's homes during the situation to fix their internet and cable without gloves, a mask, or hand sanitizer. $500 a pop, $500. All right. On Monday, the company announced it was offering a $25 weekly gift card as a thank you, an initiative that left many workers who spoke with BuzzFeed News unsatisfied. Would you do it for $25 for a restaurant that's closed? Oh Lord. So yeah, would you take gift cards for hazard pay? Let me know. All right, Instacart also had an employee uprisings. Amazon did too. I actually didn't have any Amazon stories in my listing today. They had a lot of uprisings this week though. But anyway, Instacart announces new health and safety supplies for shoppers. So, you know, if you're one of these Instacart people, guys, if we got a big pandemic going on, the last thing I want is for strangers to be going to the grocery store, picking up my food. Like, I don't want to be the last one. This is an old statement from Dennis Waitley, right? He's like, people talk about the good old days. Well, the good old days, you mean when we had a family of 12 and we all had to share a single wash basin filled with the same water? We were 12th in line and our uncle was before us and he was a pig farmer? I mean, come on, the good old days. You know, you don't want to have some other person that you don't really know picking up your food and then dropping you off last in line. No, thank you. I'll take the trip out to the store myself. However, I might actually bring this hand sanitizer with me next time I go to Wegmans because I don't know what the crap is that they're giving you for hand sanitizer. They want everyone to sanitize their hands when they go in. They got hand sanitizer on the front at Wegmans. I don't know what that stuff is, but it's the nastiest, most raunchy smelling crap. I had to wash my hands 5 times to get the scent off of me. I'm taking my own hand sanitizer next time. I don't want that crap on me. Oh, man, was it nasty. But Instacart employees are messed up. They were scheduling a big walkout to not work. So they said, we're going to supply you guys with masks, gloves, and hand sanitizers. They're like, where are you getting hand sanitizers? Somehow Instacart worked some backdoor deal, probably with them moonshiners. Hell no, officer. We ain't making moonshine. We're making hand sanitizer. You know, picture 2 old guys in the back of the woods sitting around some barrels with a still right there. They're making hand sanitizer. Leave them alone, officer. But anyway, Instacart sourced some third party to make them hand sanitizer, so they will be delivering. So if you are out of hand sanitizer, sign up for Instacart. They'll send you some hand sanitizer, all right? And I think the employees were mad about this one too. I don't know, whatever else. So college campuses are closed. So college students are rebuilding their schools in Minecraft. Some of them are actually rebuilding the auditoriums that they would graduate in and going into graduation in groups. What is this world we are in, people? What is this world we're in? Day before University of Pennsylvania, that's not Penn State where I'm at. University of Pennsylvania is in Philadelphia. We're told that their college commencement will be held online. Junior Andrew Go thought an alternative to holding the address over Zoom. Students could have a heyday and graduate from inside Minecraft, just as a Japanese elementary school had organized days earlier. So quickly, Pencraft students began to create dormitories, food trucks, local sculptures in-game. Morris Chung, an early builder, measured building dimensions and streets positions constantly to ensure their scale was accurate as possible. First day of buildings, students took an hour to decide the placement of the street. Their main goal was to have a completed campus, specifically Locust Street, for graduating seniors to walk down in the game now that the Voldemort virus ensured they would not be returning to campus and complete the UPenn tradition. I'm the last of my family to graduate from the college, so it wasn't just my commencement, it was for the rest of my family too. So they are rebuilding their campus in Minecraft. Check, please. I want out of the human race. Alexa, get me out of here. Order me unicorn meat. Confirm. I need me some hand sanitizer. I don't know what's going on, people. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world out here. We're rebuilding our college campuses. So here is a real photo, and here is the Minecraft redesign. Shockingly good, isn't it? Oh, man. Yeah. All right, Internet Archive offers 1.4 million copyrighted books for free online. Now, on my other channel, I actually have a channel if you are an author or interested in more in-depth LibreOffice tutorials. I have a channel called Writing Done Right. I will go ahead and link that in the description and card it here. I did a more deep dive just on this one story as it relates to authors. I'm just going to basically summarize that. I have a whole 10-minute video on that on my other channel. But basically what's happening is all these libraries are closing down, and so people can't get free books. And so the Internet Archive, they would have a policy just like all of the other libraries where if, for example, you want an audiobook or an ebook, you can rent that from the library, but the library can only rent out the number of copies it actually has. This is to make sure that authors are still getting the royalties. So if a book has a really high and there's like 5 people on the waiting list, they'll go in and they'll buy another license of it so they can now pass out 2 at a time or 3 at a time or whatever else. All right, so this is to make sure that the authors get royalties. Also, in terms of ebooks, the libraries pay a little bit more, so authors do get paid more for a library sale than they get paid for a non-library sale, unless it's just a single rental. So some libraries pay me for my ebooks on a single rental, so I only get like a few cents. It's like, I don't even think it's 50 cents. I can't remember. If somebody borrows one of my ebooks from a library, or audiobooks rather. But what the Internet Archive said, and this was their logic, well, libraries all around the world are full of books that taxpayers have already paid for, so we're not limiting the number of lens we can get. So you can go to the Internet Archive and you can now borrow as many books as you want, and there's no limit or restriction. What this ultimately means is that Internet Archive is robbing authors. So people, I beg you as an author, do not use this service. Do not sit here and borrow and borrow and borrow and borrow, because this goes right on back to that Cloudflare argument I was making in a previous section, that when you have one company and now they want to say, hey, all the libraries are down, so we're just going to lend infinite ebooks. Well, there's a radical difference between 10,000 libraries servicing 5 million people and one library servicing 50 million people. What this means is that authors are not getting royalties if you are using this, versus if you go to your local library and borrow it, which you can generally still use the online e-platforms, I believe, the authors will still get a royalty. So Internet Archive is effectively robbing authors. This is the worst thing they ever did. And I will warn the Internet Archive that if they find themselves at the wrong end of the publishing industry, they will possibly go out of business, because the publishing industry has enough money to shut you down entirely. And that would be a horrible thing to lose, because the Internet Archive is a good thing. This is just a stupid move. And I would implore the Internet Archive and my viewers to let the Internet Archive know this is stealing from authors. This is not a help to the community. This is a problematic thing, and it should end. All of this they're doing, of course, because the libraries are closed because of this. People, wait for your libraries to open. Don't be doing this. You are robbing from authors. And that basically hurts the rest of the industry. So that's kind of my take. You can have a look at my video on Writing Done Right about that. Also, that channel if you are an author, or if you are interested in more in-depth LibreOffice tutorials. Also, I have in-depth tutorials on Sigil. I will have some on Audacity. Anything relating to free and open source software in the writing world is on that channel. So have a look at that channel as well. That will be linked. And let me know your thoughts on this article and the other articles in the news. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already. And thanks for coming along. We will see you next time. All right. We have one more news section left, and that is our dystopian news. So let me go ahead and get my last title going here, and then we should be set. All right. Open that up, drop that in there, replace you. All right. Let's see how the Mozilla VPN plays out. Okay. I mean, if Cloudflare goes down for me, I just spin up my own DNS server. Yeah, which is fine. But that's the thing, is that what I want is a variety of companies. I don't want Firefox all to be feeding into it, and then all these VPNs all feeding into it. I don't want everything feeding into that one sole company. That's what I'm saying. CCP. I'm going with Voldemort virus today. We'll come up with some fun argument next time. Later, Simple Tech. Okay. Right, I've also found from long experience that drop toast landing butter side down is proportional to the cost of the carpet. Yeah. If you guys want to know how to make an absolute paradox and make a cat float, you take a cat, you put buttered toast, butter side up, tape it to the cat's back, and you drop it. Nature does not know what to do with that paradox, and so it levitates. They get a levitating cat. Right, kitty. All right. Okay. Trying to put out all the university study papers behind a paywall. Yeah. Yeah, they should not be doing that at all. Put in place to get others banned from the mainstream web. Don't list him, but don't censor him. Yep. Use VPN and change my IP so the US, so I could use a free Mozilla VPN. There you go. Yeah. All right. Just like Demolition Man, all restaurants are Taco Bell. That's right. That's right. $500. What is made of moonshine from the backyard boony? Hey, if you can find sanitizer anywhere, you can probably find it cheaper. But if you need it right now, $500. $500. Why is it illegal to make it for private use? Because you're not giving the government money for your license. Okay. Okay. Corporation can make it even stronger and sell to anyone over 21. Just one for private use. Why has Vermont deemed garden seeds non-essential and not available for sale? That's definitely interesting. I mean, that's why, as much as I hate it, like, this is helping out Walmart. I can't go to the specialty store, but I can go to Walmart and pick up whatever. Which, unfortunately, like, actually they had Seagate, 2 terabyte Seagate hard drives at Walmart for $60, I think. I wanted to get another one for backup stuff, and so I did, and good deal. So, go to Walmart, get my non-essentials. Unless they're sitting here saying, well, you can't buy this, it's not essential, I'll be like, I'm sorry, no. Internet Archive closed. If I feel this move to get the Internet Archive closed down. Someone in the org is a plant. Maybe. Okay. Truck runs better at 150 proof. That's all right. Done so, but someone in Vermont posts this comment section. I find it suspicious. Interesting. My permission slip from the government to go to and from work and drive the vehicles. That's kind of crazy. All right. Bought a bunch of seeds last summer. Yeah, I still have a bunch. I wasn't actually planning on growing anything this year. But I don't know, I might. I'll probably just grow them up at my friend's house. I'll find a patch of woods somewhere, a little field in the woods somewhere. Grow my little plants out there. It's be my hidden garden. Yeah, save your heirloom seeds. That's right. All right, let's jump on into our last news section for the day. This is News Dystopia. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the dystopian Voldemort virus news. That's right. That is our name for it today. We'll be changing our names for as long as this goes, just to make it interesting. Before we jump on in, if you want to help support the channel, have a look at switchtolinux.com/affiliates. I have all of my affiliate links over there. These will some cases they give you good deals. Some cases it's just just give me a credit if you shop there. So of course Amazon. I have Mint Mobile for cell phones. I have Pro Writing Aid for a grammar checker. 4 web hosting companies, VPNs, some podcasting resources. Go ahead and check those out. All right, so the first article, self-isolation is stress networks and no one knows if the FCC can really step in. The FCC just doesn't have any power anyway, unless you're talking about, they give plenty of power to Verizon. But anyway, reversing net neutrality could hinder the Voldemort virus response. Wait, is this the latest talking point? All right, gotcha. So the latest talking point, if we reversing this whole net neutrality thing and getting all back to this, it's going to hurt the response. No, it's not. My lands. Anyway, social as the newspeak, aka social distancing efforts, push everything from schools to socializing into video chat. Networks have seen huge surges in traffic, new anxieties over how digital networks will stand. This is actually this is more propaganda because with all of these companies, ISPs, most of them lifted their caps, and the networks are running just fine for the most part. There's a couple places that are stressed out in a few areas, but for the most part, they're fine. But anyway, new anxieties over how digital networks will stand up. So far, both carriers and FCC insist the country's networks are capable of bearing the strain, particularly given the vulnerability throttling institutes many of the most bandwidth-heavy services. So they're talking about streaming services and things that are throttled for stuff like that, which is... okay, why not? Over the last few weeks, telecommunication companies like AT&T and Comcast have reported dramatic increases in usage. AT&T's core traffic was up 21% month over month. Comcast said Monday that voice and video calls have skyrocketed 212% among the Voldemort virus thing. Together with that surge, a number of video streaming services have volunteered to limit their bandwidth, YouTube being one, Netflix, Facebook, things like that. And so, is this actually, they say, limiting videos to standard definition by default. Is this really the case? Or is it, I guess it's just default. Like, I have mine usually at a lower setting, but it's still higher than 480p. So, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so confusion around authority is due in part to FCC's net neutrality reversal in 2017. That year, FCC officially voted to roll back net neutrality rules, paving the way for large telecommunication carriers to block and throttle internet traffic to offer fast lanes for certain sites and services for an additional fee. In so doing, the Commission had removed broadband's Title II designation, stripping the agency of much of its authority. Yeah. So pretty much we've kind of strung ourselves. We've put the noose around our neck. We're just kind of waiting for that stool to give way under us is kind of what's going on. This is the least dystopian article we have. Shall we go into kind of the scary stuff? Sure, why not? U.S. government taps location data from the mobile ad industry to track movements of Americans during the Voldemort virus epidemic. So basically here... all of these ad trackers I've been telling you about on this channel since the inception. In fact, the entire channel of Switch to Linux was started due to privacy, not because of Linux. All right, just an FYI, in case you're new around here. And so I've been telling you guys and warning you guys for a long time about the data from ad trackers, data from all these, because ad trackers are the ones that are the hardest. They're the hardest to figure out. They're the hardest to block. They're the ones that nobody really realizes. But the government now is tracking these just to measure how it's going. And then they're trying to figure out exactly who's connected to what to figure out who to test. So the United States government is tapping into smartphone location data obtained from the mobile advertising industry. Now, it's not the mobile carriers. So with my phone set up, I'm invisible to what they're doing. All my ad trackers are blocked on a phone network level on a special customized host file on the phone itself. None of this stuff works on my phone. Even the Google ads, which I don't block on my local network, but I do block on my phone, is all done. And they're not using, if they were using wireless carrier data, I could be singled out in that case, but not the apps. So to understand the movements of Americans during the Voldemort virus epidemic and track compliance with curbs on movement. Ooh. Not only are they there, see, it started, we want to track the spread as far as, no. They're tracking compliance with stay-at-home orders. Intriguing. I hate to say I told you so, guys, but I told you so. Wall Street Journal had the story. I wanted to go to the Wall Street Journal article, but it's paywalled, of course. Federal government, through Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the state and local governments have started to receive analyses about the presence and movement of people and certain geographic interest drawn from cell phone data. I'm going to take a wild guess as to why Uncle Sam has turned to ad companies rather than carriers. The ad industry, due to the pervasiveness of its surveillance apparatus on the web, has a much more accurate location data than do carriers. Think about that, people. I've been telling you this for a long time. I'm also invisible to this. That's neat. Cool. The aim is to create a portal for federal, state, and local officials. Although I might go in and revamp my host file. I don't know. Aim is to create a portal for federal, state, and local authorities that contain geolocation data in what could be as many as 500 cities across the U.S., one of the people said, to help plan the response. U.S. government amassing location data on citizens. What could possibly go wrong? The data, which is stripped of identifying information, like the name of your phone's owner, could help officials learn how the Voldemort virus is spreading around the country to help blunt its advance. It shows which retail establishments, parks, and other public squares are still drawing crowds that could risk accelerating the transmission of Voldemort himself. This is already happening in Germany, Austria, and Italy, and governments in other countries are contemplating the same moves. In Israel, BBC News reports earlier this month, the local government passed laws allowing security agencies to track the phone data of people with suspected Voldemort disease so they could locate others they might have come into contact with. One such case, researchers found New Yorkers were congregating in large numbers in Brooklyn's Prospect Park and handed that information over to local authorities. One person said, warning notices have been posted at parks in New York City, but they haven't been closed. They've closed the playground department in the parks in my town, by the way. You know how long this virus will survive on elemental exposed playground equipment? Less than an hour. Interesting. That's according to the medical research, by the way. All right. Let's see. It just gets worse from here. Okay, OpenTable. This is new. So OpenTable, I've not heard of this application before. Apparently it launches a tool. It's a tool that you can schedule your reservations. Well, now you can schedule your time at your bread line. That's your grocery store, by the way. So now with OpenTable, you can go into your OpenTable application and you can schedule your time to go pick up food at your bread line. So you can go in so you don't have to stand in line. So you can go in, you pull up to the breadline store and then everyone's sitting there in these big long lines. You go right to the front and go, I have an OpenTable reservation to come in, sir. And he says, all right, you will stop. You cannot come any further. And then he lets you pass in the front of the line. It's like when you know the bouncer at the bar, So OpenTable will now help you get your reservation at the bread line. Make sure that when you get the inside information, you see the truck from Charnel coming on down the road. You see it pull right on into there. And then you're kind of watching. And then you open up your app that they're tracking your location, and you open up OpenTable and you schedule your spot in the store. So you can be standing right at the TP aisle when that precious golden Charnel is being brought down the aisle. Picture it, people. Picture it. OpenTable solves the problem. It's announcing its expanding reservation to let users choose between available shopping time slots at supermarkets and retailers. So just as you make a restaurant reservation on the app, you can now reserve a time to shop or join a waiting list. Yeah, that's kind of exciting. All right. UCSF, that's University of California, San Francisco app wants to use your biometric data to track the spread of Voldemort himself. He is spreading everywhere, people. Voldemort is everywhere. He shall not be named. So the Voldemort Citizen Science Project aims to improve our understanding of how the Death Eaters are spreading. There we go. My apologies, guys. I've been listening to one of the Harry Potter audiobooks on my walk, so I'm kind of full of the Harry Potter stuff right now. Anyway, the new UCSF initiative will grant you a way to help advance our understanding of Voldemort virus pandemic, even if you are not a scientist or medical profession. The Voldemort Citizen Science Project welcomes contributions from anyone over 18 so long as they have a phone and can download its app. To participate in the and download the app, you have to sign up for the project through the Eureka research platform using your phone number. Oh yeah, they have everything on you now, don't they? Upon installing the app, it will ask you to complete a 10 to 15 minute initial survey about your health and daily habits. After that, you'll get follow-up questions via push notification and text messages every week over the next 6 months. The app will give you the option to provide it. So is this going to be a 6-month-long quarantine project? Is that what they're doing? Let's figure this out. How long can we keep people locked inside their houses on house arrest? All right. Take note that if you consent to sharing the information, it will be included in the de-identified platform-wide data warehouse that's publicly available through data use agreements and previous studies and health agencies warn these remain the possibility that anonymized data can still be linked back to the source. So there you go. If you want to participate, you can go ahead and do that. And on our final story, after recovering from Voldemort's disease, patients struggle to know when to stop self-isolating. This is an interesting thing. In fact, I think that the next video I'm going to do in my Voldemort virus series is actually do an analysis of why the Johns Hopkins maps are completely incorrect with information. And so what we have here is people get this and they're like, we don't know when to stop because nobody's telling us when to stop self-isolating. Well, according to the scientific data, the longest time ever the virus has been detected was 37 days. Now, what the current guidelines happen to say is that if you have been fever-free for 72 hours and other symptoms have improved and it's been at least 7 days since you first felt sick, they say you are completely fine and clear to go. Now here's the thing. With this crazy fever that went around in January, what if the entire population's already inoculated about this stuff outside of the few people who have had a few issues? It's an interesting question, isn't it? And no one's talking about this. And if you look at that Johns Hopkins maps, you can see how few cases are, quote, recovered, even though the virus only lasts a maximum of 37 days. And I think the average was 20, but I'd have to check the articles again. If those maps were up to date and correct, every illness either has to proceed to death or recovery within 37 days. Why is that not happening? Very good question. All right. So right now you have this and no one's telling you when to stop self-isolating. They just want the whole world to sit here in a perpetually isolated panic. It's part of the plan. It's part of the plan. I'm not telling you to go on spring break and have giant parties. But what I'm saying is that the data and what seems to be happening in these countries are not consistent with each other, according to the medical research. Very interesting. So that's our thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on all these crazy dystopia stories in the comments down below. All right, let's see. Hey, Pizza's here. Pizza. How's it going, man? All right, let's see. Plant heirloom and save the seeds for your produce. Yeah. Especially heirlooms are getting hard to find because of the genetic engineering and stuff right now. Beans, peppers, and tomatoes from last year. Okay. They expect us to stay in the house even from our backyards. Have they lost their mind? Helps to be in nature when you spend time planting things. Yeah, and I don't have a backyard I can hang out in. I have a back deck. I am fortunate the place here I have a back deck. The place I had before, I didn't have anywhere even outside. Here I actually have a back deck and a front patio. I can hang out, be outside, without actually technically leaving the house, which is all good stuff. But oh man, the last place I lived, there was no such thing. That would have been like crazy. Now here, even though we're technically under a lockdown, we still have general freedoms. We just not in any groups of people. Literally, it's like you're not allowed to talk to anybody not in your direct house. Right. Never thought of that. Lockdown favors big supermarkets over small businesses. Yeah. Yeah. Walmart's not hurting. Promise you that. None of the big stores are, but the little stores that are focused on niche specialty products, they're all closed. But I can go to Walmart. No, GMO produced seeds. GMO produced seeds. It depends on the GMO. I mean, some GMOs don't. Some GMOs are engineered to not produce seeds, but a lot of them do, and that's one of the problems. Being out in the sun provides vitamin D. Vitamin D is your number one prevention against this thing. It is the number one way to protect yourself, and getting out in the sun is the best way to get that. Like, a supplement will work if you don't have another source, but the best way is to get in the sun for about 30 minutes a day. Keep people from planting their own food, depend on stores, yep. Or dun dun dun, the government. That's right. For people to be depressed and be treated with medications. Gotcha, yep. Just want to get out and meet friends again. Yeah, yep. That's true. Digital signal uses less bandwidth than the old analog signals. In 2000, analog cable took up way more bandwidth. Yeah. Okay, I guess front porches will be a thing again to say hello to your neighbors as they pass by and keep, hey, Sky Bear, we don't use Newspeak around here. Okay, all right. Social distance champion, Bigfoot. That's right. Okay, let's see. Cop starts pulling dudes over to ask where they're going. That's too much. Yes. They'll just make up some small infraction. You were going 1 mile over the speed limit. Or, how about this one? You were going the speed limit. It was very suspicious to me. I'm going to strap my phone to a squirrel. Nice. Where the hell is this guy going? Is he going up a tree? That's why I need the government permission slip for work. Oh, God. Found live virus in the ships evacuated with the crew 17 days later. Lives longer than an hour, according to the scientists. Outside of a body, I mean, if the conditions are right, it could, but I'd actually need to see that because there is not a single coronavirus or any other virus in this family that lasts longer than a day. I would want to see that report because I do not believe that is accurate. Breadline table. Why am I having flashback of USSR? Because that's what we're waiting for. Have you not seen some grocery stores in some places lately? I mean, the hospitals don't have massive lines to get in, but Walmart does. We actually, I went to Walmart, was it yesterday, I think? And they literally had like a cart line set up. They put down a cart every 6 feet, and there's going to be one person in between each cart, unless it was like in a family or something. And now there wasn't a line to get in, but presumably there was at some point in time. I don't know. And I haven't figured out why, but toilet paper is still empty. They didn't have Scott this time. They did have one other brand. I don't remember what brand it was. Good tip is combine shopping trip with pensioner to give them a lift or pay their taxi and get priority entry to the supermarkets. Ooh, there you go. All right. Bring out your dad. Bring out your dad. Pizza. Okay, let's see. Something about the maps. Yep. Yeah, if you actually caught the press conference today, he's like, oh, yeah, well, a lot more people are asymptomatic than we initially thought. No kidding. Okay. I've been ranting myself with this lack of recovery numbers along with the incomplete testing numbers. Give me number tested with those numbers. Yeah. Yeah. You missed the Zoom articles. Oh, yeah, you missed the Zoom articles. That was number 2. I got a cat there. Come here, buddy. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come here, cat. Roar. We got a kitty. Look at that. We got a kitty. There you go. All right. Let's see. All right, let's see. Okay. Should my AR-15 in old propane tanks. There you go. And start telling us to stay inside, then we know something's up. Yep. GMO corner stereo. That may be true. Pizza's using 1984 speak. Ungood. Just finished reading the second time. Nice. Very good. Okay, if I had the malware and recovered, maybe I can sell my Dookie to Kardashians and someone. I'm telling you. Striving to see my mistress essential. Just tell someone she's sick and can't get out of bed. Okay, not seeing they are lying about 17 days. Something stinks about this. Okay. Okay. They ruined it with the Snap Store. Yep. Still no toilet paper? Geesh, where I live, a lot of TP. May as well be making... I'm telling you, you should. There's actually somebody in one of the neighborhoods out here actually has a bin of toilet paper in their front yard with a note like, if you need one, take one. Please take only one, It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, what? Like, I can't figure it out. Like, why is this stuff, why is it constantly sold out? Oh, boy. Well, let's go ahead and feed the beast and probably get out of here. Shall we feed the beast? Let's feed the beast. Oh, boy, kitty. You want some kitty treats? Do ya? You want some kitty treats? Here you go, buddy. Actually, give me my mouse pad. I need my mouse pad. I don't want you drooling on my mouse pad. There. I don't want kitty drool on my mouse pad. Give me some paw. Here you go. Give me some paw. Right here, buddy. Give me some paw. Or just stick your face in there, I guess. Oh, we got paw. Did you get one? Yeah. You got one, huh? Here's one for you. And let's do one for this camera right. Ow! That was my thumb. Why do you want to eat me so bad, kitty? Keep on trying to eat me. Yes, you do. You keep on trying to eat me. I'm not a kitty treat. Cat thinks I'm a cat treat or something. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to bite that. All right. Okay. People are hoarding TP and selling it marked up on eBay. Oh, God. Yeah, fortunately, I have enough to last probably a year is my guess. Maybe 6 months. It depends on how much Taco Bell I eat. Are we in the wave of the future yet? Possibly that Ubuntu removes apps and comes Snap-only system. Apt is still there, but a lot of things, the new store by default installs snaps before apt applications, and some programs are moving that even when you install apt, it installs a snap package instead. Chromium browser is one of those. I think there might be a couple other ones now too. All right. I thought eBay was for used items. Ew. Hey, it is. Would you like to pay for some used toilet paper on eBay? Ooh. Anyway, well, let's go ahead and jump on off, guys. I should be streaming tomorrow. It was funny because last week I said, I may or may not stream tomorrow. I don't know why, but I slept until 12:35. I'm like, well, that answered that question, so I'm not streaming. I might try and stream tomorrow. I'm going to try to. Where else am I going? But it depends on how late I'm up tonight working on some stuff. So, But keep an eye on the channel. If we are streaming, it should be like 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and probably do a Linux distro of some form or another, or something else more Linuxy. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a crossover with the writing channel because I'm working on the doing some book stuff as well. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out, and we will catch you next time. And the kitty says, bye-bye, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button.